Hi, this is Elliot Wave Sage. I want to go ahead and do a market update. And like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. So we've been in this correction. Right now, the Dow Jones is chopping a lot of traders to pieces. I do expect it to potentially continue lower. It's trying to form a connector, but however, it may have already formed it. It could still drop, just like I mentioned before, or even lower. But we are looking for a pop higher soon. The SPY, looking at this flat correction, there's a lot of different ways to label this, but I do think it's got more downside. If we were to bounce here, there's a chance it could become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it could also form a connector, and then this is just off, and to put the 5 there. So I don't like buying the SPY either. It's just not a good instrument that I like. The tech looks like it's having a straight down crash correction. You could put the connector right here, and then it's the case it would have bottomed, but we broke that low. So this looks like an impulse down to me. So this looks like to me that tech should have another leg lower. So we should bounce and fail. So that's what I think tech's going to do, something like that. The IWM is in a buy area tonight and this afternoon. It hit it. It'll be interesting to see if this bounces to new highs, or just like tech, it fails for one more swing lower. So if we get this leg would be a great opportunity to go long and get a nice big connector and then go long. But buy in here, you would more than likely see some upside or potentially the wave 3. So I do expect the market seems like it's ready to reverse and either go to new highs or form a bigger connector. Bitcoin, um, this drop could have ended 4. I can't say it hasn't, but this would be the area if we got to, I would buy Bitcoin. Here, I'm just watching on the sidelines. Oil, still looking for this push higher and why. We'll see if we can get that. Natural gas has been doing great. That's really been working out well. Almost going parabolic on this squeeze. And oil has followed suit. So far this trade's working out. And again, I gave this setup in several videos ago when we were down here. So a lot of profit should have been made in this pretty obvious setup. Gold, again, continuing lower. Got a long way to go down. Silver really made some progress to the downside, but it's still got more to go. 21. The dollar index looks like to me you've got WXY pattern forming here, and either it's done here or we have one more push higher and then it's done. So, but again, it does seem like we need Y, which means the market may take another leg after getting this relief rally. So we may see the Dow do something like this, like instead of this 2, you could see it pop and then fail again later, just like you see in tech. So I think the best market forecast I'm thinking is something like a pop and a failure. That's the most likely path. But the surprises to me would be as if it goes like this and it's a 2. And then let's see, how's the 10-year doing these days? Still rising in wave 2, it looks like, and it should take one more swing higher. It looks like that's adding downside pressure to technology. VIX looks like wants to bust out of this inverse head and shoulders. We'll see if that happens. We've seen that get rejected before, but we'll see. Okay, so that's the stock market. I'll go through some stocks for everybody that you'd like to see. Everybody loves Apple. So Apple's continuing lower. If we break 180, then we are more than likely in a much higher degree correction. And we'll do something like this. And we may see the 150s and 140s. So Apple's in a very dangerous area for long traders. Breaking this more than likely will cause a bounce and a failure. It would be surprising to see a straight down shot to 158. How's Tesla doing? Again, it's kind of in the buy area. It's trying to find some bids. We'll see if it can reverse tomorrow. And then Symbiotics in the buy area. We'll see if it's going to reverse out. Adobe, it's getting close. That may become a buy tomorrow. AMD, looks like we formed a connector, shallow connector here. So we have a new target on AMD, lower, potentially as low as 121, 110. We'll wait and see. But the connector could rise still, and so we'll have to wait and see how that forms. NVIDIA wouldn't touch. Palantir still chugging away to our buy area. AI finishing in this 1-2-1-2 setup, still trying to find support to reverse. IONQ, nice bounce in our buy area. Really nice, strong bounce higher. Then Shopify. So Shopify more than likely, given its extension on this leg, will bounce and fail again. But there's no guarantee. But that's more than likely where we'll go with Shopify. How is the other stocks that we are trading doing? Let's see, DraftKings still heading down to 30. GME in the buy area, nice reaction. Could be in this wave 2 pullback. Could be done this correction. It was a good setup here, and we bounced. That's good. And let's see. I think that's it here. Nothing else I could say there. How's healthcare? Now everyone's FOMOing in Moderna, right? mRNA. I was hearing a lot of buzz around mRNA. Where were they today? Kind of flat. Looks like the first 4 wave. Yeah, looking at pod forming a connector. So if you missed this bottom, look for this shallow connector. If you're lucky, you could get it to 169. It may still swing up, and then that would change our target to the back test of the downtrend line at 180, and that may be your last opportunity to go long pod for many, many years to come. If it's a wave 2 of a 3 grand super cycle. So if you, like I said, if you miss this move, this will maybe your opportunity to get back in pod on this next leg lower. This looks like it needs to bounce and fail. So I'm keeping an eye on that one. Okay, that's all I've got here that I want to talk about. Discretionary. So we mentioned before our Carvana. If I can find it. Carvana hit the buy area. I gave this video update. It's holding. This is looking good. We're not trading down here. We're trading up here. We'll see if we can reverse out of this tomorrow. Breakdown. Again, if we break down, then we're looking for a bigger 3-wave pullback to as low as $18. But right now, this could be a 1-2 setup for a big breakout of an inverse head and shoulders, which should take us to the triple digits or even higher. So again, I'm just trading the chart. I'm not trading the company. I care less about the news and why people like it or hate it. I mean, the Reddit's really negative about this company. People, it's like basically they're like, when it works, this is like the best company in the world. But man, when there's something goes wrong with the shipping or something or your money, man, it's like good luck, and it's the most hated company. So it's very bipolar, like customers' experiences with them. So take it for what it's worth. But anyway, we want to keep Lulu in mind on a pullback. So I look at this as a gift, breaking that. And so this would be a stop out area right here. So that means it should bounce and fail. Again, should is the word, but it can always fake people out. But it could do, it could, but more than likely it's going to have some bounce and failure, or this is a very shallow connector. If that's a shallow connector, then we know the target that we can buy it, and this would be a great buy opportunity at 482, 478 if it can come back down to this area, if this is the connector. So we need to keep an eye on Lululemon for a long play here, but I would not buy it here or here. I would wait for this. And let's say, oh, Elliott Wave Sage, we don't get it. I missed the move. Well, you missed the move. Find it. The setup isn't clear here, but it could something I want to keep an eye on. Okay, so that is the discretionary house of staples today. Nothing good there to talk about. How's crypto equivalents doing? Again, people really FOMOing in. How's BTBT? That's a great opportunity. So now you have a connector. Okay, so this is a new connector or the low. So this is either 2 or a connector. And so if it's a connector, if you get so lucky to get a connector, I would absolutely be buying the dip on C. If you can get something like this, or it pushes higher and fails, but if you did get in here, you should be taking something off the table and putting your stop loss at 337, and then getting back in later if it stops out. But that's how I trade it. If you're not in it already, it's too late. You missed your setup. Watch my videos more and watch my Twitter channel if you missed that setup. But yeah, they're all bouncing. Mara. There was another one I saw that was in a nice buy area. One of these Hive, was it? Hive, yeah. I saw Hive down here. Almost tagged it. So there's some good opportunities in crypto. If we get lucky and get a pullback, another leg lower, be a great opportunities for long. So the opportunities I see is crypto on this dip, if the market gives it to you, gold and silver down at this dip. I see technology eventually after a bounce and a dip. So you see, you got to be still like patient. But then there are individual stocks that have shown other setups that I've shown you, that I have pointed out, that are holding. But not everything is holding. So it's tough to trade this market right now unless you have a strategy. Seeing a lot of traders getting chopped up, losing a lot of money. And the reason you're losing money is this is why you can't just buy calls every day, guys. The guys that say, oh, buy calls, buy this, buy Apple, that only works until it doesn't. In this kind of chop, man, you can't trade like that anymore. You can't trade like that anymore. This kind of chop. So that trading strategy will cause you to lose your money. So what would I recommend? And I wouldn't trade this. You got to be on the sidelines. You got to be on the sidelines. You got to be on the sidelines. Here is a potential opportunity for a call. Oh my God, I said it. Yeah. So if you're so desperate to buy a call on the Russell. Buy a call on the Russell. But have a stop at 190 if you're going to do that. Buy a call on the Russell, let it bounce, take some profit, put your stop where your entry was, and maybe you'll get lucky and get the wave 3. That's how you trade it. There's no chop here, guys. So this should relief rally. This should relief rally, and because it's so deep and intense, it may not have a double. It may not fail twice, like these others. This, to me, is a 5-wave move down. The Russell looks like a 3-wave move down with this connector right here. Just again, I could be wrong, but that's how it looks like to me. But you got to do what's best for you on this market. So I think we have some news coming out, and the market's in this correction, but the correction will end. And when we do, we got more upside that should be taking place before the rug pull. This is nothing. This is just a tremor. These are tremors before the earthquake. This is just the sneak preview for what's coming. This is a technical sell-off that's been orchestrated by the CNBC traders to the retail community to sell your bags to them. I mean, if you go, I've never seen CNBC push and take profit so hard in the last couple of days. I mean, my God, every guy on CNBC is saying take profit, trim, don't buy, don't buy. I mean, I never hear CNBC say this. So that, again, guys, this game is poker, not chess. Why are they telling you to do that? Do you think they have your best interest in mind? Do you think they're looking out? No, they either their friends missed a move and they need to get back in, or they're taking their bags from you because they're going to drive this thing up soon into the Q1 earnings. I mean, this is what's going to happen. A real sell-off is based on fear, panic, and a news event that can't be controlled. This is a technical sell-off driven by CNBC traders pushing you to sell because it's we went too far too fast or whatever the meme is. So you got to fall into that. You're not gonna make. So you got to kind of not get too worried about what's happening here, because there really isn't the catalyst. So if you're a seller, again, playing poker, you see that. So you're going to start selling your big guns and playing your big cards? Hell no. I'm not going to waste my ammo here. I'm going to wait for something much more juicy later. But yeah, I'll let dumb money sell, and I'll just still sit on the sidelines. So the big sellers aren't selling. That's what I'm saying. You don't got the big guns aren't coming out. When this happens, the people that sell at B are the guys, the smart money that was buying way back down in this area. They're going to finally dump their bags. They haven't dumped their bags yet. Even though you think they have, they haven't. But those guys are going to dump their bags. And in fact, if this is even a bigger degree, it may be people back from the 2009 selling, dumping. So we don't even know the degree yet, but I don't think it's a 2009. I think it's just the 2020 finale. I don't think you're getting a grand super cycle crash. I do think you're going to go to 320 at the worst case, but it could truncate in a run-in flat. So you just know that at some point this year there's going to be some really horrific event that's going to happen in this market. And trust me, if we knew about it now, we would be selling off a lot worse than it is now. So it hasn't happened. Whatever is going to happen has not happened yet. This is just traders losing their money in the chop. Retail giving their trimming to eventually end up missing the move, whatever you want to call it. But this is just noise. This is sideways consolidation noise. Technologies, it's going so deep. We got to be careful. Technology isn't corrected March 2020, because if this too goes any deeper down here, then yeah, you got to start thinking about truncations and things, and are we correcting the whole thing? And we'll have to look at RSIs, but right now I'm not caring about that. It's too shallow. But we'll see what happens with technology, how this plays out here. But I do expect it to go higher. So this is just accumulation area. So you should just, wait for your pitch, go after it, be patient, play this run up, and then get really cautious here. But we got to be careful, because if we get the Moonboy, there won't be a B, and I'm wrong, and we'll get a Moonboy, and we go into a massive pump of, epic proportion. Then you don't want to be too cautious. So we got to really understand what's going on here, the situation. But if we're going to get Moonboy, more than likely in this area, we'll be gapping up day after day with, and I'm thinking it would be massive gap ups like we've never seen before. That would be Moonboy. That's what I would be looking for. If we start seeing that, then there's going to be no B, guys. There's no B. But what we should see is a lot of chop and resistance here as the market rolls over. If we start seeing that, then we know it's topping out. Now we know we're topping out. But yeah, if we run up into this with acceleration and gap, then we have to consider Moonboy, and those guys are right. Moonboy is right. I mean, the thing is, I look at this correction as incomplete. And if this is a complete correction, you have a 1-2, you're going into wave 3 of 3, because you have a 1-2, 1-2. That's how I would relabel it. And this will moon. And whether you think the market deserves it, should do it, Biden, hasn't earned it, that's what's going to happen. And I can tell you now where we would end up. I mean, we'll go to 910. So what do you think is going to happen? SPY 1000. That's going to be, so that's the stakes, right? That's the stakes. So if you're shorting here, hoping for this here, what if you get Moonboy? you're not going to have any money left. So you got to respect Moonboy. Moonboy's scenario is in play, guys. It's still in play, even though I don't believe in it. It violates my system, but you gotta understand that that can happen. That can happen. Moonboy can happen. And then when Moonboy hits, then you crash. You know, you're 85%. So good luck, guys, out there. We either got Moonboy or we got a massive rug pull later this year. This is not it. This is not the rug pull, in my opinion. Of course, I could be wrong, but you got to do what's best for you. I do believe this correction will end, and then more than likely we'll see a really nice rally out of here, and that's going to define whether we get Moonboy or we get this top and B peters out, and then some catastrophic event occurs, and then all hell breaks loose in the market, and there'll be a rush for the exits, just like 2009. But don't worry, you'll have time, because 2009 didn't happen instantaneously. We had a lot of notice to get out of the market in 2009, because it dropped something like this, and then it crashed. So you got this like wave two to get out. So we'll know. I mean, you'll have an opportunity. It's not just gonna like wake up one day. It's gonna be down here. So it's like you're gonna know, and you should have an opportunity to dump your bags. Uh, so that's what I'm thinking. But I think if you're short in here, it's real dangerous, super dangerous. The short here, but given the setup and the higher high sequence that we have, that's all I got. Good luck, guys.